How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Pod Hop with Ramton. Today's episode is going to be the universal message behind the story of OJ by Jay-Z on his album 444. So Jay-Z's 444 album, and especially the song The Story of OJ, is more so a blueprint on how the average American can really become successful and maintain financial freedom in the United States over time. And his first message really starts in verse 1, where it says, wish I could go back, wish I could take it back to the beginning. I could have bought a place in Dumbo before it was Dumbo for like 2 million. That same building today is worth 25 million. Guess how I am feeling? Dumbo. So what Jay-Z is saying is basically how he wishes that he can go back in time and could have bought real estate in a place called Dumbo, Brooklyn. Dumbo is a small neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York, where it is the real estate market right there is the demand is high, the supply is very low. So therefore the real estate pricing there is really, really high. And just like he says, it's about worth 25 million on average per like small apartment. He's basically saying that if he just bought a place there when he was younger for just 2 million, he could have appreciated the value of that apartment over time to be worth about 25 million. So let's take that in terms of net worth. So let's imagine that Jay-Z has just got in more financial freedom and just bought a house in Dumbo, New York for 2 million. Therefore his net worth has increased by 2 million because he bought that house. So over time, so now it's 2017, if he still kept that apartment, then his net worth would now be increased by 23 million because now that apartment is worth 25 million. And that's really how you accumulate wealth over time. It's basically you invest into something that has a lot of monetary value and you hold on to it. Sometimes you keep it until the pricing is good for it to sell in terms of real estate, or you keep it and you pass it down generation to generation. And that's what really Jay-Z explains in verse 2. He says, I bought some artwork for 1 million. 2 years later, that is worth 2 million. A few years later, it is worth 8 million. I can't wait to give this to my children. So here's another way that Jay-Z really takes an approach to maintaining financial freedom and maintaining a rich lifestyle in the United States. He's basically saying that, once again, you invest into something that has a lot of monetary value. In this example, it's artwork. Over time, if you keep that artwork, it will appreciate in value over time, increasing your net worth. And now, in the future, that would be worth much more than what it was when you first bought it. Matter of fact, he's saying that in terms of this example, in just 2 years, he got 100% gain in his investment into that artwork. So this is what now his approach to this is, passing this artwork generation to generation. What he's saying is, in order for his children to maintain the same financial freedom as his father did when he was, as Jay-Z did, as he's an adult right now and very wealthy, Jay-Z must pass on something with a lot of monetary value over to generate from his children and their children to their children, and so on and so forth. By this way, the monetary value accumulates over time, and therefore the children's net worth increases because they have something that's worth much more than it was originally. So, for example, let's say Jay-Z bought the artwork for 1 million. He passes it on to his children. His children now have the artwork, and the artwork is now worth 30 million. The children net worth from the artwork has increased by 30 million because they have that artwork now worth 30 million. So basically that's how you maintain this entire the entire ladder on maintaining financial freedom in the United States. It's by accumulating your wealth over time and investing something that has monetary value. It's not necessarily you give cash to your kids and passing that on. Rather, it's something that would be worth more in the future. So basically, it's a blueprint that anyone in the world can take, a universal message. And what's really interesting is that young rappers today, really, as soon as they make money, they quickly go buy a Lamborghini, or they quickly go buy something worth like or like a Rolls Royce. However, the problem with that is that you can't actually increase your net worth with that. You can't maintain financial freedom and maintain that throughout your entire life by just constantly buying things that will eventually depreciate. That's not how it works. You have to buy things that would appreciate. For a car, you drive 1 mile of a Lamborghini, you go from buying that car from $400,000, and if you want to sell it now, it's worth $300,000 because you use that car. Therefore, you're not making any money, you're losing it. So rather, you should invest into things that can appreciate over time, and that would be a good investment. So I end today's episode with this note, and it's basically saying that if you ever come with a substantial amount of money you ever accumulated, do not go spending it on just so many materialistic things that would be beneficial to you in terms of your happiness just short term. You should always think about the future. If you want to still maintain having money, think about your future and investing into something that could bring you happiness, but also has a lot of monetary value that would appreciate later in life. Like Jay-Z says, you will be leaving this world with enough money for your children to live off of comfortably, and their children would be living off comfortably as well. And therefore, you will be serving your purpose as a good, if a parent or a good adult, and at the bare minimum, a functioning member of society. And so, thank you all for watching today's episode. This was Ranting with Pornhub. Please go leave a like, subscribe, and leave in the comments what you thought about this song or any other songs on Jay-Z's album 444. Until next time, I'll catch you on the next episode.